Hey everybody, this is Olivia Edwards
and Grace Hager
here with the Big Screen Review. Today we're going to be talking about everything we think is wrong with Silver Linings Playbook. So, as a little trigger warning, the movie's a little...
It's about some mental issues and...
Yeah, it's rated R, but of course we're not going to cover anything that's that bad. Okay, so the movie starts out with this guy named Pat, and he's getting out of a mental institution that he's been in for 8 months. So the movie, it starts with his mom taking him home from the mental institution.
His dad had no idea that she was taking him out.
Yeah, his dad was really mad about his wife's decision to pull him out.
Because Pat's dad and his mother aren't really close anymore.
Yeah.
But they still live together and they're still married.
So he is really excited to be home from this mental institution. We'll explain why he went there in a minute, but he's really excited to be home.
Like, really overly excited.
Yes, and his dad stops him and he's like, ha ha ha, you have to watch this football game with us. I haven't seen my son in 8 months, you have to watch this game with us.
Like, that's the big part, is the games, the football games,
and the
ego
son,
games.
Yeah, the son kind of blows up because he's like, well, Dad, I don't want to go to this game. I don't want to watch this game. Yeah. I want to do what I want to do because I've been doing what the guards want me to do for 8 months. So he tries to go work out. He has a lot of positive energy, which
is kind of surprising.
Yeah, he has bipolar disorder, so he channels his energy through
into working out,
reading, running, all the good stuff. And so he goes to his first therapy session since coming out of the mental institution.
Because he's forced to, since he still lives with his parents now.
Yeah. So he goes to therapy, and we learn a little bit about his backstory. Mm-hmm. His backstory is that he has a wife.
Yeah.
He has a wife.
In quotes.
Yes.
So he walked into his house. He came home early from work, which he says he rarely ever does. And he saw clothes lying around his house. And he didn't think about it. And then he heard his wedding, music playing. Again, really didn't think about it much. And then he walks upstairs and
sees something he probably doesn't want to see.
Yeah,
it's his wife with the history teacher.
He almost beats the history teacher to death.
Yeah, he gets really mad because it's his wedding song. Yeah. And that's his wife.
And that's one of his main triggers is his wedding song.
And this man just has a lot of bad things happening to him.
He's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's just had bad things happen. Yeah. And if it weren't for his wife doing that,
he probably would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, everything would have been great. Yeah, he doesn't want to take the medicine because he doesn't want his wife to think that he's reliant on medicine to be a better person.
He wants her to think that he's naturally becoming a better person.
Which he is. So he kind of gives off this little quote where he says, Dad, I know I'm not the perfect man, but I need to find the silver linings of life.
Better. After all the bad things that happened, he wants to make his life better than what it was.
And he believes you get a chance for getting a, quote, silver lining if you work hard and stay positive, which is what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So he meets his friend for the first time since he got out of this mental institution, and his friend tries to cheer him up, and he says, okay, why don't you have dinner with me and my wife, and my wife's going to have her sister over, by the way. Mm-hmm. So it turns out her sister is not the character that you'd expect.
Because his friend's wife is really
she's high class.
Yeah, she's kind of more of the trophy wife, soccer mom type of thing.
So the sister's name is Tiffany.
She's the younger sister.
Yeah, looks a little emo.
Yeah.
She looks
which makes
probably
sense.
Every high schooler ever, but she's out of high school.
Yeah.
So
makes sense though after what happened.
Basically, they don't really get along. Tiffany's not really that kind of person who will sit down and have dinner with someone. She doesn't really get along with people, but Pat tries to talk to her to make a friend, I guess. Yeah. And so he kind of overshares a little bit, which
he's kind of notorious for not saying inappropriate things at the worst times.
Yeah. So the first conversation they have doesn't really go well. The only thing that they can really bond over is what kind of weird as heck medicines that they've been on in the past. And you can tell Tiffany has a little bit wrong with her backstory too. Yeah. So Tiffany makes Pat walk her home. She's openly rude to him, and she offers to further get to know him.
Yep.
And so when he says no, she cries and kind of slaps him, and then he goes, well, how old are you? I just said no. And she goes, I'm old enough to have a marriage end and not end up in a mental hospital. And then she, like, runs away.
Yeah.
So, like, again with the insulting turning into romance.
And then we should also talk about Tiffany's backstory. So her husband was a cop.
Yes.
And he did die. So now she still wears the wedding ring. And
yes. He was run over by a car when he was trying to help an old man fix a flat tire.
Yeah.
So it was really unfortunate. So basically they kind of get to know each other more a little bit. They both go on runs in the same area. She kind of
attacks him. Yes, kind of stalks him, but I mean, he does run.
I think the running scenes are kind of cute. Mm-hmm. But, so he decides that he wants to get closer with Tiffany. So he kind of goes on a quote-unquote date. But he orders Raisin Bran and she orders tea, so it's not like a date.
He actually did say, I ordered a Raisin Bran so that it wouldn't look like a date.
So, Tiffany kind of tells her backstory to him. That's where we learn about Tiffany. And so, basically, she tells him off in a restaurant because he insinuates that he doesn't have problems as bad as her.
Everyone else in the restaurant's, like, kind of cheering and, like, go get her.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And so the police randomly show up. I don't know who called them.
I know, like they showed up
they
instantly.
Do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like the police officers just show up.
Like instantly, like they're just waiting for something to happen.
Later, he and Tiffany try and get to know each other more, although they haven't really had a good relationship in the past. And so they make an agreement with Tiffany that he
would write a letter to Nikki, his wife.
And Tiffany would get the letter to Nikki if Pat did a dance with Tiffany.
Yes.
And so Tiffany's convinced, like, there's no silver lining in life. It's all awful. And
she's not really the most upbeat type of person.
So he writes a letter to Nikki, and Tiffany gives it to him, blah, 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 blah. And then his dad decides to bet on an Eagles game.
Like, hardcore bets everything he has.
And he tells his son, you have to go to the game because you're my good luck charm. Yes. After the game, he goes home, and the Eagles lost. And he's upset because not only did the Eagles lose, but he lost time with Tiffany because he was supposed to practice their dance with Tiffany. So Tiffany shows up at his house. She's like, you blew me off. What happened? You blew me off.
She's really mad at Pat and everyone.
And then the dad's even more mad because the Eagles lost. And Tiffany goes, well, did you know that every time Pat and I have been together, the Eagles have won? And the only reason why the Eagles lost the game was because Pat and I went together this time. Mm-hmm. And the dad makes a deal with his friend. They're both, like, hardcore gamblers.
Yeah, they kind of have an issue with gambling because every game they gamble something.
So Tiffany, not Tiffany. His dad makes a deal with his friend that if the Eagles win the next game and Pat and Tiffany get a 5 out of 10 on their dance competition, then he'll win back double the money from his friend. And so Pat realizes that evening that Tiffany wrote the letter from Nikki. So he goes to the dance anyway because he
promised Tiffany he would.
So he goes to the dance anyway because he promised Tiffany he would, and Nikki said she'd show up. So,
which, keep in mind, Nikki has still a restraining order on Pat, but she still goes to the dance anyway.
So basically, they do their dance. I'm not gonna lie, it was stupid. Him and Tiffany do this really weird, like, messed up dance.
It was weird.
It turned from like just
ballet,
like casual friend dancing to like ballet to waltzing to rock and roll.
Yeah, like literally, like you're dancing to like Metallica.
And everyone's wearing like the nicest dresses. It's like a classy ballroom dance. And
then here's Tiffany in low-rise leggings and a sports bra.
Yeah, basically after the dance, they get a score of exactly 5.0 on their dance, which I don't understand because everyone else was so good and they got a score of like 7. Directly after the dance, he talks with Nikki and he agrees that it's not really going to work out anymore.
No.
And so Tiffany gets mad that they're talking and she runs off because she realizes that she doesn't belong in the middle of this.
That she just doesn't want to be in the middle of the relationship.
Yeah, and so after Pat's talk, he runs after Tiffany, and he's like, hey, I can make this work,
Like, Nikki is kind of like, we're done with...
Yeah, and he tells Tiffany that he knows that she wrote the letter, and he writes Tiffany his own letter saying, I know you wrote the letter, I know you're crazy, but I'm crazy too. Let's fall in love.
Their crazies match.
Their crazies match. They do crazy things together.
Yep.
I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
But they really have a thing for running after each other in the streets.
Yeah, it's just running. Always running.
We talked about how he likes to channel his energy through taking jogs or runs or whatever. And so they're always running after each other.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's just always they're running after each other, no matter what.
So yeah, after they get the letter, they kiss, and basically they have the spinny camera that they do in every kiss scene.
Every kiss scene, there's always the camera that spins around them, and then the cheesy music plays. And
so happy ending. They fall in love. They stop wearing their old wedding rings. They move on past their old marriages, and they agree that they want to settle down together. And like Grace said, the dad wins back his money, and he opens a restaurant with that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a really cute movie.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was really good.
It was really cute.
It had like a plot that no other movies really.
I've never seen a type of movie with like anything near the same plot.
I recommend it. I think it would be,
I do too.
It wasn't as bad as other cheesy romance movies.
No. But, I mean, it is rated R, so watch at your own risk.
It's
but
mature, but...
It's not really...
It's not awful.
It's mainly just bad language, and that's about it.
A little bit of nudity.
Yeah,
that's
but it's not bad at all.
No.
I
thought it was a pretty good movie.
Me too.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been Olivia Edwards.
And Grace Hager.
Here with the Big Screen Review.